The Eagles are coming off a stretch where every game feels crucial, and now, more than ever, they are in desperate need of a bounce-back win. With the season winding down and the number of remaining games shrinking rapidly, every play, every drive, and every matchup carries heightened importance. The upcoming clash against the Chargers brings its own set of uncertainties, starting with the quarterback situation. Justin Herbert's status remains a major storyline, as he continues to recover from the surgery required on his left hand after a fracture that occurred just days ago. Despite the injury, Herbert showed remarkable determination in Wednesday's walkthrough, participating in limited practice while making it clear that his goal is to be on the field come Monday. He has a plate and multiple screws stabilizing his hand, and though he remains optimistic, the ultimate decision rests with the team doctors. They will have to carefully evaluate whether putting him in the game risks further damage, and the official announcement may not come until the final hours before kickoff. Chargers offensive coordinator Greg Roman offered a positive update, signaling confidence that Herbert could indeed play, which injects hope for Los Angeles, though Eagles fans must wait and see how the week unfolds. Herbert's participation would drastically affect the Chargers' offensive strategy, particularly their balance between running and passing. Should he be clear to play, the Chargers are expected to shift away from under-center formations and rely heavily on pistol and gun setups. Even with this in mind, the reality is that playing behind the Chargers' offensive line presents a significant risk. Statistically, they rank near the bottom across the league in both pass protection and run blocking, making them one of the more vulnerable fronts in the NFL this season. This is a matchup that the Eagles' defensive line cannot afford to overlook, especially after a disappointing showing against the Bears last week, which exposed weaknesses particularly in stopping the run. The absence of Jalen Carter, however, dramatically alters the dynamics for Philadelphia's defensive front. Carter's season-long battle with injuries, most notably his lingering shoulder issues dating back to training camp, has affected his performance despite moments where he appeared to regain his usual dominance. Reports have now confirmed that Carter will miss the Monday night game against the Chargers, following a procedure on both shoulders aimed at bringing him closer to full health for a potential playoff run. The revelation that he played much of the season with two compromised shoulders sheds light on both his struggles and his resilience, as he still produced key plays and made an impact even while not at peak performance. Losing Carter for the next few weeks represents a significant blow to a defensive line that has already faced challenges, ranking near the bottom in sacks and allowing substantial yardage per carry. In his absence, the Eagles may lean more heavily on emerging players such as Ty Robinson, affectionately dubbed the Vanilla Gorilla by fans, alongside Mora Jomo, Jordan Davis, and Byron Young, while Gabe Hall could potentially see time from the practice squad. The rotation will need to step up immediately, as the Chargers' offensive line has struggled, allowing 40 sacks this season, which ranks among the worst in the league. It's a matchup that presents both opportunity and pressure, with the Eagles needing a dominant performance to capitalize on the weaknesses in Los Angeles' protection. Meanwhile, the story of former Eagle and current Charger offensive lineman Mike Becton continues to unfold, highlighting the challenges the Chargers have faced in the run game. Becton, who has battled injuries and inconsistencies throughout his first season in Los Angeles, has struggled with both run blocking and pass protection, culminating in career-low grades. His frustrations were apparent after being benched in Week 11, signaling that the adjustment from Philadelphia has not been smooth, nor has the first season in Los Angeles met expectations. Becton's struggles underline how critical depth and performance along the offensive line are, especially when facing a formidable Eagles defensive front that, even without Carter, can exploit vulnerabilities. While hypotheticals abound regarding potential roster moves and future transactions, the immediate focus for Philadelphia is to ensure that their defensive line can disrupt the Chargers' offense, force mistakes, and create opportunities to swing momentum in their favor. Adding another layer to the Eagles' ongoing narrative is the saga of Darius Slay, whose potential return to Philadelphia has captured fan attention. Slay, recently released by the Steelers, appeared poised to rejoin the Eagles, but was claimed by the Buffalo Bills just ahead of Philadelphia on the waiver wire. The plot thickened when reports emerged that Slay might opt not to report to Buffalo, taking time to decide whether he wants to continue playing at all. This twist keeps the possibility of a reunion alive, feeding speculation and hope that a player who made a significant impact in Philadelphia could once again don the green and white. The uncertainty surrounding his decision only adds to the drama surrounding the Eagles' roster and potential playoff push, emphasizing how every transaction, every choice, and every injury can shift the team's trajectory in profound ways. For now, the team must navigate these challenges, relying on depth, emerging talent, and strategic adjustments to maintain competitiveness against opponents who are themselves navigating complex situations, like the Chargers with Herbert's injury and line struggles. Eagles fans are also closely monitoring updates from the first practice sessions of the week. With Carter sidelined, attention turns to other key players such as Lane Johnson, who continues to recover from a foot injury, and Xavier Gibson, whose involvement in the punt return game could influence special teams' performance. The team's ability to adapt to these absences while maximizing contributions from available talent will be crucial in shaping outcomes on Monday night. Rookie and younger players will be tested under real game pressures, and the coaching staff faces the task of balancing opportunity with caution, ensuring that players are not overexposed while still taking advantage of the tactical weaknesses presented by the Chargers line. Every drill, every snap in practice, and every adjustment made by the coaches will factor into the Eagles' readiness, particularly given the importance of this matchup in the context of the season's remaining schedule. As the Eagles move closer to their Monday night showdown with the Chargers, the pressure to perform intensifies. The team has faced a season riddled with injuries, roster adjustments, and unexpected challenges, yet the resilience of the players and coaching staff has been a constant theme. With Jalen Carter sidelined, much of the focus shifts to how the remaining defensive line can step up and maintain pressure on an offensive front that has struggled all season. Ty Robinson, who has captured the imagination of fans despite limited playing time, now finds himself in the spotlight. His potential impact will be closely watched, not just by the coaching staff, but by fans hoping to see a fresh, dynamic presence on the defensive line. Alongside him, Jordan Davis and Mora Jumo will be tasked with anchoring the front, while Byron Young and Gabe Hall may find themselves contributing in critical moments. The rotation and how effectively the Eagles can compensate for Carter's absence could define the success of this matchup and, more broadly, the team's defensive performance as they push toward the playoffs. The Chargers' situation adds its own layers of complexity. Justin Herbert's injury looms large, and whether he takes the field or not will dramatically influence the game's flow. Even if he does play, the presence of a compromised hand could affect his passing mechanics, timing, and willingness to take risks downfield. This, in turn, could open opportunities for the Eagles' secondary and linebackers to be more aggressive in coverage and blitz packages. On the flip side, the Chargers are not without talent in the running game. Their offensive line may be vulnerable, but they have demonstrated the ability to produce with backs who can capitalize on gaps and create explosive plays. Rookie Omari Hampton's anticipated return adds intrigue to their backfield, as he provides both speed and vision that can test the Eagles' front. The defensive coaching staff must prepare for multiple scenarios, balancing pass rush schemes with containment strategies to prevent big plays and maintain discipline in run defense. Philadelphia's challenges are compounded by the absence of key veterans on both sides of the ball. Lane Johnson, still recovering from a foot injury, leaves gaps in the offensive line that will test the Eagles' ability to protect their quarterback and sustain drives. Special teams also face scrutiny, with Xavier Gibson's role in punt returns potentially influencing field position and momentum swings. Every detail, from protection assignments to coverage lanes, takes on heightened significance when margin for error is so small. The combination of emerging players, returning stars, and those still battling injuries creates a fluid roster situation that demands adaptability and focus from the entire team. Coaches will need to emphasize communication, rotation management, and situational awareness to ensure that every player understands their responsibilities and can perform under the heightened stakes of a late-season contest. Off the field, the narrative surrounding Darius Slay continues to capture attention. His potential return to Philadelphia, now complicated by his claim by the Buffalo Bills and his uncertainty regarding continued play, underscores the intricate dynamics of player movement in the NFL. Fans are invested in the storyline because it represents more than just a roster transaction. It reflects loyalty, player preference, and the strategic considerations of a franchise trying to balance short-term performance with long-term planning. Slay's situation also highlights the broader theme of how critical player availability is to team identity and competitiveness. The Eagles' front office and coaching staff must constantly evaluate personnel decisions, weighing health, performance potential, and team chemistry as they aim to assemble the most effective roster possible for the playoffs. Meanwhile, the focus on the defensive line cannot be overstated. With Carter out and the Chargers' offensive line struggling, Philadelphia has a clear opportunity to dominate at the line of scrimmage. Sacks, quarterback pressures, and containment of the running game will be pivotal to controlling the flow of the contest. The Eagles' defensive coaches will likely emphasize leveraging speed, angles, and gap discipline to exploit weaknesses while protecting against counters and misdirection plays. Every tackle, every shed block, and every pursuit angle will be magnified in importance, particularly given the absence of their top defensive linemen. Success in this matchup could restore confidence to a unit that has experienced inconsistencies throughout the season, setting the tone for a strong finish to the regular season and providing momentum heading into the postseason. Offensively, the Eagles must also remain cognizant of the Chargers' adjustments. If Herbert is limited or replaced, the Eagles can anticipate variations in scheme, play-calling tendencies, and quarterback comfort levels. The Eagles' defensive game planning will need to be adaptable, with an emphasis on reading formations, disguising coverages, and applying timely pressure. Even subtle adjustments in alignment and blitz timing could create opportunities for turnovers or negative plays that shift momentum. On the other side of the ball, Philadelphia's own offense must continue to execute efficiently, maintain ball control, and capitalize on favorable matchups, particularly in the trenches where battles at the line of scrimmage often determine the outcome. Coordination between quarterbacks, running backs, receivers, and offensive linemen will be critical, as every snap contributes to the rhythm and success of the drive. Special teams remain another factor that can swing a game, and Eagles coaching staff will be evaluating every aspect of returns, coverage, and kicking strategy. Xavier Gipson's participation and effectiveness in punt returns will be closely monitored, especially given the adjustment from last week when Britton CVY took over duties. Field position, timing, and execution in these moments can have outsized effects, influencing offensive strategy and defensive field responsibilities. Precision, awareness, and the ability to make quick, decisive plays will be emphasized in practice leading up to game day, as coaches look to minimize mistakes and maximize advantages in every phase of play. Before we continue, don't forget to subscribe to our channel and give this video a like. Your support helps us keep delivering the latest updates on our Philadelphia Eagles. And don't be shy. Share your thoughts on the news in the comments below. A storm may be brewing over the Eagles, and it isn't on the field. Rumors have started swirling after comments from veteran broadcaster Joe Buck, who allegedly criticized the team in a way that some are calling unusually harsh for his usual measured style. Sources close to the matter suggest that Buck's remarks weren't just about a single game or a moment on the field, but rather about what he perceives as deeper issues within the organization. While Buck has long been respected for his commentary, these whispers have sparked debates among fans and analysts alike, with social media buzzing nonstop over whether he's right or simply stirring the pot. Some insiders hint that Buck's critique could touch on the team's strategy, roster decisions, or even coaching approaches, though specifics remain murky. What's clear is that his words have already reverberated across fan forums, podcasts, and sports shows. Eagles supporters are divided. Some dismiss the critique as the standard sniping of a national broadcaster, while others admit they see cracks in the armor that Buck may have picked up on. Meanwhile, rival teams' fans are having a field day, amplifying every snippet and playing up the drama as though it were the next big scandal. What makes the story even juicier is the timing. The Eagles have been quietly navigating a tense season, and the chatter around Bucks comments adds another layer of intrigue. Could this be a signal of internal friction within the team? Or is it merely the perception of an outsider looking in? Agents, players, and insiders reportedly aren't confirming much, but the buzz is enough to keep everyone talking. Analysts are already speculating whether this might influence locker room morale, media coverage, or even front office decisions. For now, the saga is purely in the rumor stage, but the effect is undeniable. Buck's words, casual or calculated, have lit a spark in a fan base that never takes silence lightly. In sports, talk is often as powerful as action, and the Eagles suddenly find themselves at the center of a conversation that refuses to fade. As whispers turn into debates and debates into heated exchanges online, one thing is certain. The Eagles' reputation, on and off the field, is under a microscope, and every comment, every nuance, is being dissected for signs of truth. Whether Buck's critique proves prophetic or just provocative, it has already succeeded in getting everyone talking. That's it for this update. If you enjoyed the video and want to stay updated with exclusive news about our Philadelphia Eagles, be sure to subscribe to our channel and hit that like button. We can't wait to hear your thoughts in the comments. See you in the next video.